Hello, guys. I'm putting my teen on the spot now. Look at his face. It's hard, y'all, to kind of have your teen to pop up. But hey, hi, baby. So, hi, this is Coach Boycia. I just want to tell you how, I hope you guys are having an amazing Wellness Day. I hope you guys have taken the time, to do something healthy for you, whatever is a healthy meal, whatever it's exercise, whatever is drinking water. Let me share you a secret this one. The whole month, my biggest habit has been to drink water. Okay? Drink water. So that's my habit. What's your healthy habit? Because again, I don't I'm not a big I didn't used to be a big water drinker. Conversation with 15. So literally I'm like bringing me to the spot to tell you how your mental life. I'm a healing and transformation coach, and if you're popping in live or replay, say hello. I might take this live away, this live off once we're done, because it's very personal what we're going to share today. And I really want your moms to be aware. That's my son, that's my first baby that I love dearly, and I'm so grateful for him. And the reason why I chose to heal after my trauma, so that I don't transfer that trauma to my children. But until I was aware, or I was kind of feeding my negativity, or the way I was, my behavior and everything, to my kids, I was just living like all the moms are there. So what I'm teaching you guys is really from the experience. What I'm kind of bringing awareness to you guys, it's really to be aware that your energy, I always ask the question, what are you bringing home? Who are you bringing home? Are you bringing the one that you had a bad experience with, everything that you have on, or put it on, or you bringing your best self to your family? Okay, who are you bringing home? And I wanted to really had a conversation with a mom today that she was, that I met, and it's really a ministry, y'all. It's really a ministry, and I'm so grateful for God for everything. Though I want my son to talk. Okay, you listen to me, and I want him to tell me. Literally, I'm not here to tell you how really, you know back in the days, how I was behaving, how my bad behavior were affecting him as a child. Today is a teen, but he has lived through that, really seeing me for my bad mood, my bad behavior, my bad side I was bringing home, or the way I was conducting myself. It's really, it's a confession. It's really vulnerability, because I want us to really understand how we really, how your mental health, your wellness is really impacting your child, baby. You have the floor. So can you share experience? Can you share how your mom was behaving? It's okay. It's transparency. How were you feeling as a child?
Let's see. It's probably around like entering teenage years. Let's see. Wasn't really there. Always chasing somebody else instead of looking at me when I needed her. She wasn't really there. So we used to have a strong connection back when I was a younger child, but that connection got lost a little bit along the way. But so it came to the point where I never wanted to come home sometime. Um, every time she asked to hang out, I would always make an excuse, but she was always asking why you can never make an excuse to hang
Hi,
out with
Consti.
you can never hang out with your friends. But whenever it came to her, I would just ignore her because I know there was always going to be a fight, always something. And I was resented afterwards that she never gave me the time, and I always came like last in her life when it came to anything. So I just said, I just isolated myself in my room a lot of times. She didn't like that. I kept telling her I forgive her, but there was always a piece of me that was always mad at her, and I never really told her until one day, and it finally let out because I was holding in all this anger and lashing out at her, and
Anger, guys. Listen.
that it was just keeping this barrier between us. That I always said I forgive her, but my actions never like responded. It never really clicked until we had a conversation. I explained to her how I felt the past years, and that's when we tried to build from here now, and that's basically it.
So it is really telling you that how my behavior is anger, okay? Talking about anger, yeah, it's hard to hold the teen. I'm literally holding his hand. So I'm telling you, yeah, it's grown, it's a big boy now. So really sharing from how your behavior, how, because again, I had to confess to him the reason why I was behaving that way, because again I didn't know how I was, what I was going through, trauma, I was going through depression. And without me knowing, when I was coming home, I was always yelling, I was always complaining, I was never satisfied, and I was putting that bad behavior on my children. Especially him, I was growing up before I even had a baby. And I'm telling you, it affected him. Like he said, he isolates us. You heard from his voice. He really put us apart from each other for years, as I was fighting to heal, but I had at the same time damaged my own son. And when I encourage women to heal from past trauma, saying that your trauma is transferable, okay? Your is transferable. Your kids will feel when you're bad. Your kids will be affected when you're not okay. Your kids will be sad when you're sad. And the thing is, he said especially it really manifests when he was a teen, because as teenage, you cannot defend your own personality. You cannot really try to look for who you are. And it was hard for him to go, to be whatever he was doing outside and come home with always an angry mom. That's how I was, an angry mom. An angry mom. So I could only give him what I was. I could only love him to the fact that I was loving myself, but I was not really loving myself, because all I was doing is just always looking for someone to blame, always look for something to complain about. I was so ungrateful, right? I was always ungrateful. I was always yelling. That was my way of parenting. I was really demanding. It was really hard. And again, not only was the way I was raised, but also it was pull off the trauma that I believe. Guys, it's sharing a piece is really kind of a lot. I'm not really like that transparent. I'm kind of sort of private. But just to tell you that today is my teen we're holding now with Betty. Like I say, it took us years to break that barrier. It took us years to be able to sit down in his bedroom and talk to him. Like I say, we used to have it. But at some point, we lost connection. We used to have that connection and see so many things, so many people get into it. Like I said, I focus on someone else instead of him. I focus on looking for other people's attention, and I was neglecting my own child. Trauma will do so many things to you all. Trauma will make you deny yourself. Trauma will make you run away from your family. Trauma will make you run away from your responsibility. And I'm telling you, the people that usually are most hurted are the one that we usually don't think. Our children, if you married your spouse, if you have people around, those people living with you are the one that you usually hurt the most. And most of the time, it's usually when it's too late that you notice. That's why you have so many teens committing suicide. Baby, I want to tell you that I'm so proud of you. So proud of you that beside everything that I put you, and I apologize to you, and you still you grown to be such a man, and you always being wise. So literally, I'm so proud of you. Mommy is so proud of you, and I'm so grateful to have you as a child. Sometimes I don't feel like I deserve you, but again, thank you for always bringing back to normal, saying that, mommy, be careful. And your child will talk to you. Your child will warn you about the wrong relationship, about the wrong decision, about anything because there's a voice that God placed in them that is a voice of wisdom. And I'm telling you, I am blessed to have a wise child. I have a teen and I have a toddler. Both of them are very, very, very wise. And I'm telling you, when he said that, he put a barrier, and then how many of you parents out there, how many moms out there, you don't have a conversation like this with your children. I had to sit down and say enough, it's enough. Because again, what it was coming back to me was a bad behavior. He started misbehaving, and my son never misbehaved. He was always a sweet, lovable child. And he started having bad grades at school. I was like, what's going on? That's how I knew. And I kept on blaming him until I sat down and looked at myself in the mirror, noticing that I was the number one responsible of the mess that was happening in my own house. So when I tell you about being aware of your trauma, it's not fun. Someone there next to you is crying because you're miserable, mom. Someone there is kind of wants to love you, but they don't even know how to love you or how to show love to you, just because you don't even know how to love yourself. So really, I want you to be mindful. You might have just a 2 years old, especially boys, especially men. I'm telling you, to be able to go through what I go through and grow together and build up and have him turn it that way, it took a lot of courage. It took a lot of patience. It took tears, all right, worship, All right, prayers, dedication, fast, so many things to be able to forgive myself, to forgive himself, to ask him for forgiveness because I hurt him through my bad behavior. I hurt him when I was coming home and yelling at him. I hurt him when I was making bad, poor choices. I just want to share that piece of you, not to say that I'm not perfect. Share that when I talk about trauma, it's real. Some of you guys don't have a relationship with your teen or with your children just because there are some mistake that you made and you never had the courage to go and apologize to your children. I had to come to apologize to you, why, baby?
Yep.
I had to come to. How did you feel when mommy come and apologize to you? How did you feel?
I mean, it was a step in the right direction that we never had that conversation, so we would always just argue against each other and actually facing the problem. So it was a step in actually building that bond back.
Did you hear that? It was a step to build that bond back. And most of the time, especially as African parents, we are grown up to the point that a child is always the one that has to come up to us to apologize, to ask for forgiveness. That I had to go to my child as a conscious adult, knowing that, being aware that I was damaging my own household while trying to build something outside. There was something broken, and how many houses are broken? We are trying to portray something out there. We are trying to show up something. We are trying to want to compare our lives to others. We are trying to build, we're trying to build walls where all we need to do is build bridges. A conversation, y'all. Was it a simple conversation? But it wasn't. Was it a nice conversation? No. I'm telling you, y'all, tears. I was in tears like a baby. I fell down on my knee and asked my son for forgiveness. We both cried. I heard him tell we were both shaking. But it took that courage to break that barrier. To ask me, I'm so sorry that I messed up with you. I'm so sorry that mommy fall in you. I make you fall down. I'm so sorry that because of my poor behavior, because of the poison that was inside of me, because of the way the trauma was so full of myself that I didn't know that I was feeding you with the bad milk. I was feeding you with the wrong energy. I was coming home always hungry. I was coming home always like I don't know. Y'all. Before you start portraying this, before you start building whatever you're doing, degrees and stuff, check your children. When was the last time you turned off the TV and had a serious conversation with your children? Especially your teen, especially your boys, y'all. How many societal parents we have so many cases right now because parents come home and yell at kids. That's the way we would learn, especially as African. That's the only way we know how to talk to parents, to our kids, yell, comment. But when was the last time you had a simple, serious, lovable, respectful conversation with your teen? I just wanted to open up with you all. When I say that trauma is transferable, when I say that you need to heal from your past trauma, it is real, y'all. You heard from the beautiful voice of my teen that went from a baby. I was like, I used to be like, and now he's like, oh, yo, that's how it is. It's growing up. At the same time as growing up, I always say that I don't want to raise you just to become random, but I want you to build you and raise you to be someone else's spouse. So that you can be the best husband a woman can wish to have. You can be the best father a child could wish to have. You can be the best in your world. Not saying that the best compared to someone else, but the best at to becoming who God created to be. And healing is a process. We need to learn to heal as a family. We need to heal as a family because it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to bring everybody together, y'all. Some of you all need to have those serious conversations I'm talking about. Some of you guys need to sit down and really apologize to each other. My book is coming up, y'all. The Power of Forgiveness. I'm telling you, you need to look up for that. You need to look up for that conversation. At the beginning of the pandemic, God told me the world needs healing, y'all. So many houses are wounded. So many houses are destroyed inside out. We go outside, we envious people, but we don't know. Some of them don't even talk to each other for months, for years. Families destroyed. But let me tell you something. When the devil is happy and clapping because he has earned souls, God is crying because he has lost the sheep. So y'all, when I teach about healing, I mean it. You just heard from an innocent voice. It wasn't recorded, it wasn't pre-recorded, it was live. I wanted to be vulnerable on this Wellness Day and say that sharing is caring, but what's happening next door is really right though. Don't just be mindful because you hear on the TV that a teen has committed suicide or someone has just collapsed or stopped, and you don't pretend that it doesn't happen to you because it hasn't happened to your household. I want you to be mindful, okay? I wanted to say that thank you so much for y'all, and I say that the membership Eve Academy in English side has opened, as well as other coaching. If you need coaching, if you need healing in your soul, as a mom, as a woman, reach out, y'all. So thank you so much, baby. Thank you so much. I took too much of his time. Go to the phone.
Give me the phone. Give me the phone. Give me the phone. Give me the phone. Give me the phone. All right, now it's my turn to speak. All right, now. All right, move out the way, please. Move out the way. All right, so basically me, right? I've grown up to be like a mini pastor. So what I'm gonna tell you guys is, if you guys do not have God in your relationship, you will not have the ability to heal because you will try to run into the world for the situation. And that is what my mother tried to do a lot. So she had to realize that she needed God in order to heal, and instead of running to other men and all that, that's the problem lied inside. So if you're not right with God, you will not see the problem. So that is what I am telling you guys right now. That's your first step. If you have not accepted Christ, and if you're not living for Christ, that it will not come to happen. So that is what I am sharing to y'all. You guys have a nice day.
Thank you, baby. I'm proud of you. I didn't know you was gonna say that, but thank God for that, y'all. I love y'all. I'm gonna post you. And no, thank you, baby. I love you. Thank you so much for listening. You're gonna watch replay. Should I keep that live? I probably want to leave it out, but hey, opener, you want me to keep it?
Sure.
Okay, I love you. I have his permission to keep it. Okay, thank you, baby. I love you so much. Thank you for forgiving me. Thank you for being who you are, okay? So I love y'all. Have a great night, amazing night. I hope it really brought some consciousness to everybody. You know, you hear from his wisdom. I told you he's wise. He's full of wise. So thank you for watching. Tag a friend that might need to hear that. Healing start at home. Healing is a process, but again, until you have taken Christ as your savior, it hasn't, it's really a baby step, okay? So I love you guys, and thank you for watching via live or replay. It was a corner unexpected, okay? My beautiful teen, okay? That is growing up too fast, that I love dearly, and thank you so much for being there along the journey. If those who knows me personally, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for your prayer. Thank you for everything you do for and you're beyond, okay? Love you. Mwah. Should you have any question? Anybody has any question before I go? Questions? Comments? Going once, going twice. Questions? No? All right. I love you guys dearly. Don't forget, I'm gonna put the link down below to the membership for the girl soccer healing the soul of for Queen. Okay, that's gonna be a masterclass coming up soon. But I want you to sign up for the membership monthly membership, so that you can really get in a room and talk about it more often. And also, I asked a question: if I were to, thank you, bro. To God be the glory. It's not me. If I were to host a masterclass, y'all, what are the topics as a mom? What are the topics that you want us to be discussing in the room? Because it's not all about me. There are many women in that same circle. There are many men. So ask me the question inbox, ask me the question live, okay, or one whatever you get off, and I'll be glad to either incorporate it as reels, as my YouTube channel that I advise you to sign up on, and also as a post. So just share your question down below, the topics that you want us to discuss if I were to host a masterclass with you, okay? I love you guys. Happy Wellness Day. Remember that the world needs that. Here, women, don't compare yourself with someone else. Don't compare your life, your experience, your story with someone else's story. I want you to embrace your uniqueness, okay? And I want you to know remember that God wants you healed. I love you guys dearly. Bye-bye. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Annie. Thank you. Thank you.